of the things I love about what Mallory does each and every time that she gets on the screen is she communicates to us that we don't have to be perfect to do amazing things for God. We don't have to be perfect to do amazing things for God. And you see that over and over and over again in the Bible. That God chooses people that would not be first-round draft picks. Afterthoughts. Right? Think of Moses, right? Could not speak in front of anybody. But when he gets to a point where he needs to take the people of Israel across the Red Sea, God was like, Moses, lift up your staff and let me work. And when you see Jesus feed the 5,000, right, he asks, who is willing? Who's willing to help? Who's willing to feed these people? And a little guy comes up and gives all that he has. And Jesus blesses the multitude. Over and over and over again, we see stories of God using people in awesome ways. Look to your neighbor, right, and say, you have gifts. Look to your other neighbor, right, and tell them you have talents. And look to a third neighbor and say, you are able. All right? All right. Let's focus in. Love you. I would like you guys to open up your booklets, if you have your student booklets, to page 13. And just like night one, we opened it up and we looked at Psalms 23, and we looked at 3 different versions of the Lord is my shepherd. This morning we're going to do the exact same thing, but we're going to put a little twist on it. Because like Mallory talked about, and that you've seen the Kingdom Worker 101 videos, have you seen students using what God has given them to bless those around them? And so right now, I want us to think of ways that we could do that. So if you have your booklet, all right, let's get it out, and a pen or pencil, we'll write these down. And if you don't, I just want you to sit and think about these questions, all right? The first one is this, right? The Lord is my shepherd. You have all that you need. And so this is what I want us to write down in this first slide. What are gifts that you have that you could bless others with? And here's some examples. Not all of us are gifted with working with little kids, all right? But some of you are. So maybe you could write that down. And here's the other thing. Some of us might not be gifted with working with our hands, making things, fixing things. So I want you to think really quick, what are some gifts that God has given you that you could bless others with? So take a moment and write those down. And so the second one is the Lord is your shepherd, you lack nothing. And in this section, I want you to write down talents that you have. And here's the thing about talents. Talents are things that you are naturally gifted in. So for me, in my family, I was just more athletic because I was adopted. But anyway, I was more athletic than everybody in my family. Or something I was gifted in was just being able to communicate with somebody one-on-one and making them feel welcome and wanted. So what are some talents that you see, or what are some talents that other people have told you that you have? One of my talents is not singing, all right? So nobody told me to ever sing, all right? But some people have told you you're really good at singing. Hey, fellas, thanks. So what are talents that you have, that things that you're naturally gifted and better at other people than? Lastly, the Lord is your shepherd, you shall not want. So in this section, I want you guys to think about the abilities that you would need to be a kingdom worker. Maybe that's patience. Maybe finances to go to another country. Maybe that's just the opportunity to do it. So take a moment and write down what abilities you think you would need to do kingdom work. Here's the thing, guys. Each and every one of you have gifts, talents, and abilities. Because God has created you in such a unique and awesome way, you guys could reach people that I could never even talk to. Because of the things that God has placed on your heart and the abilities that He has given you. You can do anything and become a kingdom worker, whether that's baking, coaching, teaching, riding a bike, playing video games, watching kids, babysitting, being a tech guy, being a band member, maybe preaching on stage. Anything you do can tell people about Jesus. And that leads us into our next Kingdom Worker one-on-one video. And our friend Emmy, whose story you are about to hear, she has the gift of talking. And Emmy uses her gifts, talents, and abilities in a pretty awesome way. So check this out.